Imagine being in an ordinary place. No explosions, no gunfire, no warning. Suddenly, people around you begin to collapse. Some start convulsing, others can't breathe. There is no strong smell, no visible smoke. The enemy makes no sound. It simply kills. This is sarin gas, one of the deadliest weapons ever created by humanity. Sarin doesn't destroy buildings, it destroys bodies, and more than that, it destroys the idea of safety. What makes sarin so terrifying isn't just its lethality, but the fact that it is nearly invisible. It acts fast, silent, turning seconds into eternity. Originally developed in the context of chemical research in the 20th century, sarin quickly stopped being science and became an instrument of war and terror. A weapon so cruel that it was later banned by international law, yet despite that, it continued to be used. And every time it was used, it left behind absolute panic. Sarin attacks the human nervous system. In simple terms, it causes the body to lose control over itself. The brain sends commands, but the body can't obey. Muscles lock up, breathing fails, the organism collapses. All of this can happen within minutes. There is no fight, no defense, nowhere to run. This is the true terror, the feeling that your own body becomes a prison. Throughout recent history, the use of sarin gas has shocked the world on multiple occasions. One of the most infamous cases occurred in Japan in 1995 when sarin was released in the Tokyo subway. It was rush hour, ordinary workers, students, families. No war was happening, and yet dozens died and thousands were injured. The attack proved something deeply disturbing. You don't need a battlefield for a weapon of war to cause mass destruction. All it takes is an enclosed space and a few minutes. In more recent armed conflicts, sarin has appeared again, especially in civil wars where civilians became indirect or direct targets. Images of children struggling to breathe, entire families suffocating, and overwhelmed hospitals spread across the world. These were not movie scenes, they were real proof that sarin remains a threat. And perhaps the most cruel aspect is this: sarin does not choose its victims. Soldiers, children, elderly people, animals, all are equally vulnerable. Unlike bombs or missiles, sarin leaves no visible craters, but it leaves deep scars. Survivors carry physical and psychological consequences for life: trauma, constant fear, breathing difficulties, memories that never fade. Even those not directly exposed begin to live with a new feeling that the air, something essential to life, can be turned into a weapon. That is why sarin gas is considered one of the most terrifying weapons ever created, not just because of the death toll, but because of its collective psychological impact. It breaks trust in the environment, turns the invisible into a threat, and shows how far humanity can go when scientific knowledge is used to destroy. In 1993, the world tried to respond. The Chemical Weapons Convention banned the use, production, and stockpiling of weapons like sarin. Most countries joined. The message was clear: there are lines that must never be crossed. But reality proved harsh. Treaties alone do not completely stop horror. As long as conflicts, extremism, and power struggles exist, the risk remains. Talking about sarin gas is not about spreading fear, it is about remembering. Remembering what already happened, remembering the victims, and remembering how important it is to discuss these weapons so they are not normalized or forgotten. Silence is also dangerous, because what is forgotten can be repeated. Sarin is proof that the greatest threat doesn't always make noise. Sometimes it's in the air, and when you realize it, it's already too late. If you believe stories like this need to be told, leave a like. Comment what shocked you most in this video. Share it so more people understand the real impact of these weapons. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more content about history, war, and the limits of humanity. Because understanding the past is one of the few ways we have to prevent it from happening again.